G'day, I'm Scotty Tucker, that damn Aussie pond guy, and in this series I'll be showing you some tips, tricks and products that will make managing your pond a whole lot easier. So if you want to learn more about all things ponds, then give us a call, shoot us an email or subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of the juicy info that'll make your life a hell of a lot easier. In today's video, I'll be unboxing the Metala BioSteps 10 filter. So let's get into it. Now here we have the Metala BioSteps 10 filtration system. This is an outstanding filter. Let's check it out. Now, while I'm unboxing, one of the things that I will mention is that right here on the box, 3 very important words. It says made in Taiwan. Important to understand that Metala is a Taiwanese manufacturer. So the Taiwanese are much better manufacturers than the Chinese when it comes to pond equipment, and you can see this in the quality of the Metala product. It is really good value for money. You get outstanding quality for very good, reasonable price. So, all right, inside the filter itself, let's just spin that around there a little bit. Make sure you guys can see, all good. All right, so the filter itself, first of all, it's a very, like I said, good quality product. The plastic is just outstanding. A lot of the cheaper nasty sort of Chinese filters will warp in the sun, and the plastic in time actually bends and warps, and it just doesn't last. It breaks down and degrades in the sun. So very good quality plastic. I actually have seen one of the owners of Metala stand on top of his filter. It's just very strong and sturdy. I wouldn't do that being the size that I am. A bigger Aussie guy is probably a bit heavier than a slighter Taiwanese guy, but nonetheless it took a lot of weight. One of the reasons is just on that, I don't know if you can see under there, it's probably a bit hard, but there are some reinforcing structures and crosses all the way through there, again, to make sure that this unit isn't going to warp, and you've got your strengthening ribs in along here. So just really well designed. All right, inside you get your instruction book, and here you get your different layers of Metala, and it's this Metala media that makes these filters absolutely outstanding. I actually use these filters at home. The Metala media, make sure you watch another video that we've done on the Metala media that will give a much better explanation, but it's a unique patented filtration media, and in this filter you get 2 layers of the grey, which is for ultrafine filtration and biological filtration. You also get 2 layers of the blue and 2 layers of the green. And what that allows you to do is the water flows through the green to the blue to the grey. So the larger solid particles get stuck in the green, then in the blue, then in the grey. Now the unique thing about this media is it's got a weird sort of 3D-like matrix, and what that means is that when the water's flowing through here, it goes through under a certain velocity, but when it hits this media, it's got to travel through all that weird matrix. So what that means is that the solid particles, your fish poo, the rotting plants, anything, those sort of really fine particles that can cloud up a pond, will have to go through there, try and travel around. As they travel around, they slow down a little bit and they drop out of suspension in the water. So it catches a hell of a lot of crap, and because it's staged and staggered, this catches the larger waste, then the blue, the finer, then the grey, the ultra fine stuff. So it's really effective. Very easy to clean too. We'll do a separate video on the cleaning of these filters, but they are extremely easy to clean. The media's also got an extremely high surface area, and under a microscope it's actually porous. So this was designed for the aquaculture industry 20-30 odd years ago. Very effective product. It's got a super high surface area for loads and loads of bacteria to live on here, because it's ultimately bacteria that does the job in a biological filter. So you want this good bacteria to have somewhere exceptional to live, which it does in here. The other benefit with it is that unlike the cheaper products that use foam, this stuff just won't clog. So foam clogs with all those fine particles, this won't. So even though you can catch a large amount of waste on here, the water will still flow through. So just exceptional. Rarely do you have to clean this filter, and when you do, it's a breeze. So make sure you watch the cleaning video. All right, so coming back to what else we get in the filter, we then get our little bag of goodies, which we'll open up in a minute, and this little reinforcing plate. And so you can see in along here, that will just locks into there, and yeah, just again helps gives the filter a lot of stability. Now the case itself, so you, as part of your fittings, and I'll run you through the fittings, we'll actually build the filter for you in a separate video and show you through there. But you get all the fittings that you need. There's a sludge drain, there's multi-stage hose tail for connecting hose. It will take different size hose, 19, 25, 32 or 40 mil hose. With any of these sorts of fittings, what you do is you actually chop off, if you're using a 40 mil hose, you chop off the other 3 pieces to make sure that the flow is not being unnecessarily restricted through there. O-rings, yeah, all the fittings to go in there. Now the sludge drain, when we fit this out in the separate video, the sludge drain will go in here, and here's the inlet and there's the outlet. Hard to see here, but in the bottom of the tank, it actually slopes back towards the sludge drain. So that means that when you do undo the sludge drain, it's naturally got the most of the crap because it's been sloping down through there. Now, other unique things with this filter is that it has a number of accessories. Actually, before we get into the accessories, let's just talk about the performance of it. So this is rated for a 10,000 litre pond, or fish pond, or a 5,000 litre koi pond. Now that's a lot of water, and the reason for that is because of that super fine and exceptional Metala media. The reason why there's 2 different ratings is that koi are actually a very dirty, demanding fish on filtration systems. So you do need to have extra capacity or allow for koi being in a pond, which is why all manufacturers have a separate recommendation for fish ponds or koi ponds. And this is no different. The maximum flow through here is 4,000 litres per hour. And you don't want to put more water through a biological filter. Again, manufacturers that don't sort of think about this or even understand it in a lot of cases don't appreciate that if you push too much water through a filter, the bacteria doesn't have enough contact time to work and actually cleanse the water. So you want to make sure that you have the right amount of water going through here. And in the case of the Metala, it's 4,000 litres. And what can happen is that with this filter, if it does, let's say you go away for months and months and months and you come back and you forgot to tell anyone to give your filter a clean, or for whatever reason there's an enormous amount of sludge and crap built up in here, what will happen, you can see I've just slotted in a couple of the foams there, but there's, just to show you, and again we'll do a separate video on building this, but there's probably a good inch gap between the top of the tank and the filter media. So what will happen is that if this clogs, or if you've got too much water going through there, it will actually go into the filter, rise up over the top if it's blocked or too much flow, and just skim across the surface and then go out the other side. So it won't over pressurize like a pressurized filter if you don't get to it in time in terms of cleaning, or you put too much water through there. And yeah, just again, just another really good, useful aspect of this filter. Now, in terms of the now, having said that, you're not going to run 20,000 litres through a filter like this because the pipe will only have a certain size diameter to come out of. So some of the accessories you can put on here. You can also have the optional waterfall, which attaches to the outlet, and that creates a really nice effect of the water spilling out. Again, we'll do a separate video on that in terms of the waterfall. And also you have a 16 watt UV light, which attaches on the inlet side of the pump. And we've done separate videos on the range of Easy Clear lights. But yeah, this is purpose designed to actually sit inside the Metala BioSteps 10 filter. So good choice of accessories. They are add-ons. When you buy the filter, you just get the filter pretty much as it is. So that's the BioSteps 10 filter. As I said, I use this filter at home. They're absolutely amazing. I don't have much time to spend, nor does anyone really, cleaning out their pond equipment. So you want to make sure that you spend the right money at the right time with the right product, at the start with the right product, to make sure that you're getting something that's you're not going to have to clean out all the time, and it's actually going to do the job that you want it to do. And that's what the Metala BioSteps 10 filter will do. So it's a ripper. Thanks for watching. Oh, and one more thing. The Metala BioSteps 10 filter is also modular. So let's say you do have a 10,000 litre pond or a 5,000 litre koi pond, and your fish breed, they get larger, you need to feed more, you get more waste going through, and over time the filter needs to be expanded. You need to expand your filtration system. Or let's say you've got a 10,000 litre koi pond and you want to have the right amount of filtration right from the start. You can actually stand these side by side and modulate them and just build onto them as you go along. I've seen koi farms up in New South Wales that use one of these on each of their tanks in that manner. They just modulate them on and move them around when they need to change tanks. So again, very, very, very good filtration system even for larger ponds.